All right, everybody, Scott here. This could be a long video. First of all, I just want to say that we're jumping off trail. We've had enough and we're heading back to Las Vegas. I'm just kidding, it's April Fool's Day. We're continuing on. So this video, we had a lot of rainy days and a lot of days without any type of cell service or anything like that. So we were out on trail 5 days. This video is covering the 26th of March through April 1st, so it's covering 7 days. And it's day 23 through day 29 on the trail. So basically, last time I talked to you, I'm looking at my notes. Last time I talked to you, we left Hot Springs, which was, the trail was flooded. We had to go up and around and come back down the other side to get around the flood. That was day 26. We went from Hot Springs to Allen Gap from mile 274 to 289. And that was the day we saw the dammed pond on the trail. The next day we went from, which was day 27 on the trail. I take that back. It was March 27th, not day 27. We went from Allen Gap to Flint Mountain Shelter, which was, looks like 18 miles. Yeah, 18, almost 19 miles. And that was the day we came to an exposed ridgeline. And if it's storming, there's an alternate route you can take for bad weather. Well, we got there, it was dark, but it wasn't raining or blowing or everything. So we decided to go ahead and take the ridgeline. We got up on top about a third of the way through and a lightning thunderstorm hit. We were already committed. Another guy came back to us and he said, I suggest you guys get off of here and take the other route. Well, he wouldn't say why, he just kind of ran by us. So we went ahead and did it. We were fine. It was quite the experience. I think I have one picture of us up there. We were basically trying not to get hit by lightning. All right, then March 28th, we went from Flint Mountain Shelter to Low Gap, which was Low Gap. We stayed at that night, and that was one miserable night. It was probably the worst night we had. Rain, cold, my sleeping bag was wet. I got my fingertips a little frostbit. They're starting to come back, but they're still a little numb. Kevin said that first 2 hours the next day was the worst 2 hours he's had on the trail. We had to, we couldn't get our shoes on because they were frozen, and he had to do a rotisserie shoe over his cook stove to get him thawed out enough to get on his feet. That was not a good night. On the March 29th, we went from Low Gap to No Business Shelter, and that went from the worst day to the best day. After the first 2 hours that morning, it started getting sunnier and sunnier and nicer. No Business Shelter is a beautiful shelter. We took all of our equipment, hung it up in trees, laid it across our tents, thawed everything out, got everything dry. The next day, March 30th, we went from No Business Shelter down to Irwin, Tennessee. We walked through Irwin so that we could get 15 miles. And then we had a shuttle come pick us up at Indian Grave Gap, and he brought us back to Irwin. That was on March 30th. We are sitting in Irwin. We're doing 2 zeros, which means we're not hiking for 2 days. And the reason is the top of the mountains are experiencing record-breaking cold. It's like low 20s in town. So it could be in the teens up on top of the mountain, plus rain, snow, sleet. I can see snow up on top of the mountains right now. So we've been sitting here Wednesday the 31st and today Thursday the 1st. We got a lot of stuff done in town yesterday. Today we're just kind of hanging out. Tomorrow morning we're going back on the trail. It'll be really cold, but the rain and snow is supposed to be stopping. We're going to be heading towards the Hampton area probably 4 days from here, and we'll get resupplied there. And then another 4 days we should be in Damascus. Kevin is leaving the trail in Damascus, and he's going to come back in a couple months and catch back up with me. I'll be continuing on from Damascus. I don't think there's too much more. Am I forgetting anything, Kevin?
You did good.
And Lucy, hi Lucy, I still got your card you gave me last year, so that's going with me. I guess that's about it. So we are going to be heading north